Hello everyone, Carlos Flores, back on basics. So today we're going to talk about a topic that it's kind of hard to talk about. I'm telling you, I'm being very honest with you. It's a little bit hard to talk about, and that's the topic of self-forgiveness. It is very important though, a very important topic, but it's hard to talk about because we as human beings in psychology teaches us that a lot of the times we have what ifs. Like, what if I would have done this? What if I would have done that? And it's hard to comprehend the ability to say, I'm sorry to myself, to forgive yourself for things that may have happened not according to what you predicted. So, for example, before we begin this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Back on Basics 9985. I think I have close to 80 videos now. I've been doing a video every single day. There's different topics that I've talked about, like self-help. There's been some other topics. I also have short videos, and some of those are funny because it involves pets, it involves different aspects of my life. And so I'm trying to show you that we need to focus on having mind-body balance, right? And at the same time, we need to be in the moment. We need to be mindful in the moment, in the present, because if we're doing that, then we're able to look at everything around us. Everything around us actually has and gives us a lot of clues about what's going on in our lives, what's going on around other people's lives, and it also gives us clues as to how we can get ahead. But the thing is that without forgiving ourselves for things that we have missed, things that we have not done, self-forgiveness is a very important key in life balance, mind-body balance, in moving forward and reaching your goals and your dreams. So make sure that from time to time you kind of assess the things and what's happening around you and what's going on in your life, and forgive yourself. You have to do that. And I'm talking about somebody that it's hard to forgive myself sometimes. And so again, subscribe at Back on Basics 9985. Hit the notification button to see it, to get notifications of new videos coming up. Hit the like button if you like this topic. At the same time, if you have a very specific topic, put it in the comment section. I'll be happy to give you my opinion, my take on that topic. And so, let's start this topic by talking about a story. So, I think when I was 16 or 17, my family went to a lake with some of my aunt and uncles. We were sitting around, or actually they were sitting around. I was in the water. I don't know how to swim well, and at that time it was worst. I didn't know how to swim, and so as I was waddling in the water, and believe me, I wouldn't go any further than what I could step on. I actually turned around and I saw my younger brother drowning. He couldn't swim and it was hard for him. He was going up and down. And so at that time, what I ended up doing is I ended up pushing myself past my fears, and I actually tippy-toed all the way to him, and I brought him slowly back. I mean, I was like, I hope that we both don't go under. But thank goodness that I was able to reach the floor of the river or the lake that was there, and so I was able to bring him into the shore. Um, my parents were horrified. My parents, to this day, my mom hasn't forgiven herself for that day because she was afraid that something could have happened to my brother or something could have happened to my brother and I. And even though I tell my mom it's okay, everything went fine, I know that this wasn't your fault, she still blames herself on doing that. I also blame myself on doing that because I should have kept an eye on my brother. That's one of the things that I've done ever since that he's born. I've always kept an eye on him. We're 9 years apart. So my brother, when I was 16, I mean, he was 9 years younger. So, but I have done many things like, I took him to preschool in San Francisco when we were young. We were living in San Francisco. I've taken him to school. I picked him up from school. I picked him up from daycare. We've been to different things. He hung out with my friends during middle school and high school. I mean, my brother and I are very tight. We're very close. And so that was the hardest thing to forgive myself when I felt like it was my fault. In order for me, I should have been keeping an eye on what was going on. So, I mean, through processing, through many studies in psychology, counseling, and just life experiences, I was able to say, let go for for as much as I can, and let me think about this. Because if I don't, then this is going to be one of my regrets or one of my what ifs. As many of you know it as attachments, it's going to attach to me for the rest of my life, right? And that's gonna have an impact on my life and beyond. And so it was difficult to do that because I couldn't get past the fact that I should have been keeping an eye on him. And so what I ended up doing was I was being mindful. I was in the moment. I was going through what took place during the lake. And at that moment, I was able to visualize my brother. And I was able to visualize him and realize that I actually turned around at the time that I could see him. I didn't realize that he was just walking up and down. And so I realized that I actually caught him in time. And it's hard to accept that, that self-forgiveness. I felt good. I felt okay because I did do my best. It was in a bad situation, and believe me, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, but I was able to get past it because I realized that I was able to act when I saw the scenario that was taking place. And so being able, and see, I'm sighing, being able to forgive yourself is an aspect because my brother and I have a very tight relationship. And now that we're older, we have an even tighter relationship. I mean, literally, and I'm going to say this as I get closer to the camera, literally, my brother and I started telling each other that we love each other, and we started hugging this past year. For me, it's 48 years that I've lived, and still, right? It's been hard to do that, and I think forgiving myself opened me up to be vulnerable, opened me up to different scenarios, opened me up to really be myself. And so don't hesitate to forgive yourself. Nothing, and I'm going to say it again, nothing is worth you stressing. Nothing is worth you not forgiving yourself for something that took place in the past, or the recent past, or it's probably taking place right now. It is not. It is not. For those of you that, don't feel good about yourselves, watch another video that I did about feeling down, and about suicide, and about intervention. You don't wanna get to that point. But the problem is that if you have not forgiven yourself for one thing, more than likely you'll have other things that you haven't forgiven yourself for as well. You got to start doing that. And I'm very serious. I mean, you can watch my videos. I joke around. I share my stories. I do a lot of different things. But I'm being very serious right now because I want to make sure that you forgive yourself. If you can't do it, then what you do is you stand in front of the mirror and you look at yourself and you say, I forgive you for this taking place, or for doing this when I wasn't supposed to, for feeling down when somebody put me down, for feeling angry because somebody was trying to put something over me. You have to forgive yourself. And because of that, you have several things at your advantage. One, you can be in the present. You could be mindful, be present, be here, be able to process things. Two, you should have a support system. Watch another one of my videos. A support system will help you, guide you, and will help you process things that you can't process on your own. The third thing is that you have to understand that life is not a race. Life is a marathon. You don't have to be the first. You don't have to be the fastest. You don't have to be running until you get tired. You just have to get there. Nobody's setting limits on your goals except for you. Nobody is blaming themselves for not completing goals except for you. Forgive yourself. I'm telling you, forgive yourself. It feels really good. Fourth, you have to make sure that you're balancing your mind and your body. Exercise, just do something that you enjoy doing. Read a book or do a story. Do a lot of different things that will balance your mind and your body. I go and do 5-mile walks. As a matter of fact, I'm going to try to do one tomorrow if it doesn't rain. And for my mind, I do videos. I share what I've learned. Why? because I don't want to keep that knowledge in my head. Why am I supposed to keep it in my head, right? I'm supposed to be sharing it out. We are supposed to be sharing our knowledge out. So make sure that you do those things. And bottom line, forgive yourself. And if you want me to say that I forgive you for something that I don't even know that you've done, then I will do that, because I forgive you and you should forgive yourself. Okay? All right. Well, it's a difficult topic because it's hard to forgive yourself. I haven't forgiven myself for certain things. Believe me. Go watch the video on the wars, the civil war in El Salvador. I still get goosebumps all over when I can picture the bullet shells falling on my parents' house roof as I was young, and the helicopter was firing, trying to keep the rebels out of the town. But it wasn't the rebels, it wasn't the helicopters, it was just the fact that sound of the bullet casing just falling on the roof, it just made me cringe, because I didn't know whether I was going to make it or not. I didn't know if my brother was going to make it or not, and he was only a few months old. I didn't know whether my mom was going to make it or not, and it was hard. But I had to forgive myself to do that. If you have any questions, again, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Back on Basics 9985. Hit the notification button for any new videos. Hit the like button if you like this video. I know this is not like the one where I'm smiling all the time and everything and talking about different topics, but sometimes we have to talk about topics like this. So if you have a specific topic, comment section. So for homework, forgive yourself. Sit in a room, meditate. Sit in a quiet room and don't be in the present. Think about the things that are holding you back, because believe me, a lot of those things are things that you haven't forgiven yourself. So you're not moving forward. If you want to move forward, you got to do this. I'm telling you. And if you're young enough and you're just starting or about to start college, or you're in high school, the more you forgive yourself, the easier it will be for you to focus on what are you going to do, where you're going to go, how you're going to do it, and how you're going to achieve your goals. Believe me, it's always a struggle. Life is a struggle, right? We're always struggling. That's the thing. But we have to struggle moving forward. So forgive yourself. Until next time, Carlos Flores, Back on Basics.